Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 86. This reviewing just the 875th episode of the anime, A Fascinating Taste, Sanji's Cake of Happiness. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, that's an interesting title and very somewhat accurate happens this episode. This episode pretty much wraps the entirety of chapter 900 of the manga, which came out just last year. Yep, finally, a chapter I reviewed while I was doing this particular series, which came out last year, and finally they're up to it. Yep. And can you believe there's only 2 episodes left? Yeah, there's only I think it's probably going to be 2 episodes left because there's only 2 chapters left. Yeah. What happens in this episode? Well, you have the Sun Pirates who come out of hiding, and they pretty much mostly decimate Big Mom's Tart fleet. And it's also filmed in this episode that they took out the not transpond, more like their sensor network, which, yeah, it's not exactly revealed in this episode. Jinbei figures it out, despite the fact that viewers have known about this for a good 30 episodes. Yep. Oh, by the way, Aladdin's wife, despite making a brief appearance in last week's episode, does not appear in this episode for some reason. Yeah, there's no explanation why she's not fighting her own mom's troops. Yep. So, we have all these people, all these creatures going out, the fishermen going out and take out Big Mom's fleet. We have the German 6-6 base operations being attacked. Yep. And then we have Sanji's siblings being injured by bullets that can actually pierce their rad armor. Yeah, the rad suits, which this is particularly a little weird because rad suit, I mean, you probably think from shoulder, apparently it also protects their heads as well, which I'm like, yeah. The thing about these rad suits, they never thoroughly explain them except it makes them super strong, fly, and maybe shoot lasers out of their eyes. That's it. This thing apparently give their heads some protective covering, some kind of special like plastic cover or something like that to protect their head, because I know probably protects their body, but yeah, the rat suits have never been explained in this series. It's just something that the German 6-6 family has. And this episode does have something that the last episodes had. Shocking cliffhangers. Yep. Or things to show up at the end of an episode that hasn't appeared for quite some time. And last week, it was the Sun Pirates. 2 weeks prior to that, 2 weeks ago, it was the German 6-6 making their epic return. Oh yeah, and the big thing with this episode is that Big Mom gets a chance to eat that big wedding cake. She takes it like she just instead of eating cut a piece up, put it on a plate. Nope, she just takes a big whole handful of it and shoves it in her mouth. And after taking a few of them out, she swallows and she just everyone's assuming that maybe that thing was laced with poison. Of course, it really isn't. The viewers have known that for quite some time. And she loves it, and she just goes on like a musical number for pretty much the rest of the episode, while the Straw Hat ship is being decimated by her own flagship. Yes, this ship, which made its last appearance in the Dressrosa arc. Yep, that was the last time the ship actually physically appeared in the anime. So it's been quite some time since the ship appeared. What is the whole thing with this ship? Well, it's a gigantic ship that's the size of a city, and it can talk. Yeah, and it's Big Mom's personal flagship. As for where the heck this thing has been this whole arc, never explained. Not even the manga they bothered to explain this. There's even one point you have, before Big Mom eats it, you have Coletta being dragged away by Benj when he goes to his tank mode, and she does get a chance to see, before they get too far away, Big Mom's expression of how she's gonna love this cake. Of course, there's also flashbacks that weren't actually shown when they were making the cake, because the recurring gag is that Sanji says something nice to Pudding and she just faints. Yeah, a lot. And oh yeah, this is gonna take all night. Nope, we're doing 2 hours. Yep. Well, these hands probably will be. But for a cake this size, yeah, the cake the size they made in the anime. Here's the thing about if it was one person making this gigantic cake, it would take a whole month to make a cake this big. Maybe 2 at most, because it's the size of a freaking building. But since you have a whole team on this, And since these are experienced chefs, yeah. Oh yeah, one thing I appreciate about Clifton is that she actually appreciates the fact that Sanji is a true chef. So yeah, it's a good thing that they met. Yeah, it's a good thing. And of course, this is the last time we'll get a chance to see Benj and Clifton in this particular arc, because I don't think they return after this. They're not they did not return for Revere. I know they're not Revere, and they're not in Wano. So as for what happened to these two, no idea, because the Big Father pirates just the Benj's pirates just completely disappear after this. They're just never seen again. No mention happened to them though. Jinbei, of course, is probably going to return in this arc because, well, there is something that sets up next week's episode. Yeah, this episode was just pure fun, and I kind of expected the whole thing of this turning into a Big Mom musical, because of the way it was presented in the manga, with her going nuts over this cake that's so good. Yeah, that she's dancing and singing. Yeah, and next week's episode is kind of basically wrapping everything, mostly everything up by next week's episode. That looks like it's going to adapt, from the look of it, chapter 901, which when Jinbei separates from the Straw Hat crew in order to get his own crew out of Whole Cake. But Luffy tells Jinbei, meet me in Wano after you take care of that. Yep. But I kind of know because I've read the chapter. But yeah, good episode. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my comic corner, which I'm going to do next. And after that, there's maybe one more video I plan to do today, aside from the comic corner, and that's review the newest episode of Boruto. Okay, but to the next review. Bye.